should security services have access to our online accounts in exceptional circumstances? We're joined now by intelligence and security writer Nigel West, who says that MI5 should be able to access the records, and Liberal Democrat Home Affairs spokesman Jardine, who believes people can be kept safe without invading their privacy. Nigel, let's come to you first. Why do you believe this is a good thing? Why should we allow them access to those private messages?
Well, let me give you a practical example, something that happened 4 years ago. 4 years ago, in San Bernardino, a man called Syed Farouk went on the rampage. He was a jihadi suicide terrorist, and he killed 12 people and he wounded 22 others. He was shot dead with his wife, who was also a jihadi terrorist. And he had on him a cell phone. It was an Apple cell phone with a 4-digit access code. And the FBI went to Apple and said, we need to get access to the data. We need to find out whether there are other accomplices. We need to know where he got his weapons from, who else is involved, what else may happen. And Apple refused to pass over the access code. So that is a very practical example. Those 4 digits meant that if you can try, it had been set for 10 tries. After 10 tries, the data would have been destroyed. So the FBI couldn't run through, as you might expect, the 10,000 permutations of those 4 digits. And ultimately, Facebook and all the other encrypted services are in this same position of refusing access.
When you hear that, Christine, it sounds extraordinary that it shouldn't be obviously available, because that's clearly vital, life-saving work.
I think that we're in the situation where nobody wants to see the security services' ability to protect us undermined. It's vital. But end-to-end encryption is not simply about having, you know, the Apple phone of someone who has already committed a crime and you want to get access to find out how you can stop something else. It's completely different. It means that you and I wouldn't have any security about our bank details, our medical records, because as you cannot pick and choose which end-to-end encryption that you stop.
What is wrong in this world with trusting the people, like those who are trying to get access to that they're doing it for the right thing? What are you suspicious of?
Of course we trust the security services that they would be trying to get access to the right things and
so
to
just
protect
allow
us. That's
them
the government's first job. But the problem is it can't be restricted to the security services. If you have end-to-end encryption stopped, it stops for everyone. And it wouldn't just be the security services who could look at people's information. It would be criminals. Yeah. It would be fraudsters.
So it's a technical problem that they can't... So what about that?
That's the big concern, Nigel, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you create a backdoor for the security service to go and exploit, to be able to look for these things, which I think we can all agree would be hugely valuable and important.
It doesn't automatically follow that.
But how do you stop them? But we know how wily and clever they are. We see it happen all the time. We see all the fraud that's happening and how they get hold of our details. If we are actually going about creating that backdoor, how can you ensure that they won't go and exploit it?
Because it would be used only on very rare and exceptional occasions. It would be fully warranted, and the security service is probably the most regulated intelligence agency in the world. It's subject to data protection, it's subject to
But I don't think it would be the security services that would give it up. It would be the fact that because they've made that access possible, the criminals would then find a way to get into that access.
Oh, be clear. The access is possible. The back door is possible, and it is there. It's simply whether or not Facebook and WhatsApp and the other platforms are willing to share that with the security service. Now, their argument, incidentally, is not the case that you've put. Their argument is, where does this stop? Will we be subject to the similar kind of law in Hong Kong, where the authorities want to be able to monitor...
Well, that is the question, isn't it? That is the question.
I don't think we're concerned about where does it stop for Apple or Facebook or WhatsApp. We're concerned about where it stops for the individuals.
Well, that's what you're
saying. The security of public figures, politicians, celebrities, the ordinary person in the street whose bank details... Absolutely nothing. But that's not the problem. The problem is that your bank details, you don't want people having access to them and using them against you. You don't want people having access to your medical records or a message that, you know, a private message that someone has sent to a public figure. The danger is that if you create the possibility of end-to-end encryption being looked at by someone easily, then it becomes open to everyone. And we want to keep ourselves safe from terrorists. And one of the things we have to do is protect ourselves on the internet from terrorists. So if we open it up to MI5, then we open it up to the terrorists as well. And what we need to do is find a way. I absolutely agree with you. There has to be a way that we can be protected. But simply not allowing end-to-end encryption on Facebook is not going to do that. It's not the right way. And it's also not technically possible, what you're saying, well, according to the companies.
I suppose the fear is that it starts with something as serious and as obvious to all of us here should happen. And then the concern for people like Christine is where does it then stop? You know, you'll get someone saying, I want to get access to my partner or my daughter or somebody's phone because they've lost their life and I want to see what was happening. I want to see the circumstances. The police would want to do it. Before you know it, then criminals are also masquerading against that, as we see all the time.
Yeah, I think we're getting carried away with ourselves here. What we're talking about is a very, very narrow access. And the reason why Andrew Parker has raised this issue after leaving, he's about to leave the security service after 7 years, is because this is the biggest challenge for the intelligence community. You're talking about 20,000 active files, 3,000 people being subjects of interest, 300 counter-terrorist operations being conducted right now. It's about saving lives, and it's about giving the security service the opportunity to interdict terrorism and atrocities before
it's too late. You can understand that, Christine. There were people watching this morning saying, Nigel's absolutely right, I've got nothing to hide, I don't mind, and surely you want to arm our security services with every possible weapon in there to be able to take these steps.
And what we need to do that is to invest in the National Crime Agency and give MI5 the investment that it needs, give our police the investment that they need. But it's not... The answer is not to stop end-to-end encryption, because it isn't just a narrow...
But
that's
access
the problem.
for some people...
You can't do that. If you, according to the technical experts, if you like, and the companies, you can't just say, well, we'll end end-to-end encryption for MI5. You have to end it. And that means that everyone's information becomes accessible. Well, if it's possible, then we need to look at how it's possible, rather than just saying blandly, well, just give MI5 access. We have to do it properly and carefully.
You can't expect the security service to be entirely transparent and to discuss their sources and methods on public television.